high school simulator games made by Kuma Games, or Tomoya Suki Kami. If you're similar to me and you grew up with Yandere Simulator and you really wanted to play it but you couldn't because it's only for computers and you didn't know how to do that, so you looked up Yandere Simulator on your little Kindle Fire tablet and found these games instead. I decided to go and browse this developer's games, and I decided that I wanted to talk about mainly the high school focused games. The very first game that's regarding high school is this one. High School Maze 3D. Now, personally, I have never played this ever. This is my first time playing this. When we first click the game, we're immediately hit in the face with the most, best music I've ever heard in my life. Oh my gosh. Stage 1. It's basically like a tutorial, and I couldn't really figure this one out. I didn't know if we had to approach these girls or what, but let me tell you, the controls are horrendous at first, and then I started to get used to them. The objective for the whole game, as I started to realize as I kept going through the levels, is just to find these characters. Although it's really easy because there's an arrow on top of each one, so all you really have to do is follow the arrow. This game has really unique sound choices and music choices, which I kind of like, honestly. It's really different from what you see nowadays. There is no lore, there is no story. It's just you running around a maze, and a very dull, scary looking maze, but at least you got these colorful high school girls keeping you company. Regarding the controls, I soon realized that you can actually control this with one finger. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically by using one finger you can move your character and look around at the same time, so that made it way easier to play, at least. That's all I really have to say about this game. There's nothing much to it. It's pretty cool. Gets a little bit repetitive after a while, but other than that, it's pretty cool to play for the first time. The next game that I want to talk about is High School Simulator Girl A. It's a standard little game, high school simulator where you customize your character and such and go in school. But the thing was, there was an option that I didn't remember very well, and it's the zombie on or off button. When you join, there are so many zombies here, and I don't even see any students at all. You have weapons right off the bat, so you can really just start slapping these zombies in the head. What I really found strange was that there was no high school people. There was no other humans like us. There was only zombies, weapons, and automobiles. I went back to the main menu and I clicked zombie off, and then I rejoined, and finally I saw some people, but they were just the standard NPCs that always stand there. They don't move, they don't walk, they don't go to class. There was also no weapons, which makes sense because if you know the entire policy on the App Store regarding school settings and violence, it's not allowed and it could get you in some trouble with the App Store. I turned on infinite jump and I decided to look over the entire map and the entire city. The only thing that I found at least semi-interesting was the police station, in which there was no police officers, but there was open jail cells. I rode around on the police bike and I jumped into this pool thing, which didn't allow you to swim, so you're technically walking under the water. Then I decided that this is really all the game has to offer, so I decided to leave. High School Simulator Battle. This game was probably one of my favorites back then. This game consists of multiple levels of you trying to fight off these, I don't know what to call these, military men? I don't know. While you're doing this, you have to bring along other high school girls or high school students. It seems like they're high school students. As you get farther and farther in the game, you start to unlock different maps, and I think that was pretty cool. Pretty cool touch, it's nice to see a different map other than the gray that we had before. At the end, there's actually an ending. This ending consisted of us taking along all the other students that we, I guess, saved to our last checkpoint. different. There's not much to the ending, it's just a thanks for playing screen.
Bruh.
Now let's talk about High School Simulator 2017. In this game, we spawn in the house that I honestly think is the best house out of all of them that we've had in these games. It's an entire house, which is why I say it's one of the best in my opinion. In this game, we got the goofy sounding English dub.
Alright.
When we exit the house, we see a shovel right in our front yard, and this will come in handy later on, trust me. Unlike High School Simulator Girl A, there are actually students here. This game is not really different than Girl A. The only difference would be that there are students, of course, and there's no zombies in this one. And the map is slightly different, like her house and the city being replaced with a neighborhood. But then I randomly remembered something. If I remember correctly, if you go to a specific place and start digging with the shovel, a bunch of weapons will start to appear. So I went to go test that out, and lo and behold, it worked! So many weapons and balls, for some reason, came out of the floor. I can't believe I remembered this after so many years. With my weapons, I felt unstoppable. I went on a casual killing spree, you know, nothing too crazy. I wanted to see if the cops were actually functional and they actually responded to students' cry for help. So I decided to gather some students, but I accidentally pressed call and I forgot that the call radius is ginormous.
Hey!
So basically all the students started to follow me, which was kind of overwhelming, but it worked out in the end. I started to take down the students one by one in front of each other so that they can freak out and go get the cops, and they did. The cops did come. But the thing was, the cops were stupid. Like, they didn't know what to do. They just went to the corpse and stared at it. I even killed cops in front of cops, and they still didn't do anything. I realized that the cops, in the sense of saving people, were pretty much worthless. High School Simulator 2018, the last high school simulator by Kuma games to ever be published. We don't have a house in this one. Instead, we have a small little apartment complex. And I don't know if anyone else didn't realize this at first, because I didn't, but there's a shower on the outside of our house that we can actually use. Anyways, this map is mostly similar to High School Simulator Girl A, except it's just slightly different. Just like High School Simulator 2017, there are students in the school. In this game, we have a phone, which is really fun because you can pull out as a camera and call people. You can also call the cops too. And you know what was really cool that I didn't know either? Just like Yandere Simulator, when you point the camera to these NPCs, they'll pose, which is so cute. Anyways, I decided to test out the cop situation and see how well they are able to help other people. I called the cops with my phone and I saw that we have a female cop, which is really cool because before there was only male cops. However, this time the cops were not empty-handed. I realized soon after discovering the cop that I can't really cause mayhem because I don't have weapons. There was no weapons. So what I had to do was waste my time and watch every single ad to unlock every single hairstyle. Because if you do this, you unlock the weapons. I don't know why, but I mean, hey, Kuma Games has to get their penny in, right? After I watched all the ads for the hairstyles, I joined back in and thankfully, we got some weapons. So as I naturally do, I started to go on a killing spree. I killed basically everybody, and this game actually has blood, which is pretty cool because it stains your clothes and it just kind of messes you up. After the killing spree, I waited for the cops patiently, by the way. When she spotted me, she shot a bullet, but let me tell you, that bullet, it was really slow. It was... That's really all I can say about this game. It's a great game. All of these games that I've been talking about. So great, so nostalgic. I know that there's some little Easter eggs that you can do, like this clone yourself with the reindeer ears if you press jump and Y at the same time. There's other stuff too that you can figure out with the little props that you can wear. But right now, I want to talk about what everybody is thinking. The scary aspect. A while ago, I must admit it was a while ago, but I went on TikTok and I saw this video. This person found a face in the wall The wall texture has like a type of face structure, and at first I was like, wow, I didn't know that was in the game. People were saying that it reminds them of Slenderina because it looks like her, which I can see a little bit, yeah. I was quite curious myself, of course, so I decided to go look for it in High School Simulator 2018, and I actually found it, and wow, let me tell you, it actually does look like a girl, like a creepy girl or something. Players of this game are making these like theories that it's a ghost of the game, a lot more things that relate to it being some type of game ghost, and honestly that's really cool to think about. I wish that was real, but unfortunately I think we can all agree that it's just the texture of the wall. However, I'm not trying to turn down any theories or stories that you guys make of this image. I really like it. It gives this game a sort of story even though it's not official. Another thing that people find creepy, I guess, is the secret rooms, which I used to go in all the time. I knew about this since, for a while, but I could see why it's kind of creepy because sometimes when you move your camera around, sometimes it glitches and the skybox is exposed, which exposes you to the realization that you're just a little character in a little map that is implanted in an entire skybox that seems to be going on infinitely, which is really overwhelming to think about, at least for me. Another thing that is similar to that one Slenderina face is this mask that you can find behind a building, and let me tell you, this looks pretty scary, not gonna lie. It's a red mask. It kind of looks like a hockey mask or something. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the schoolgirls simulator hockey people kidnappers. Yeah. Or it just kind of looks like a traditional mask for, Japanese culture, but I can't be for sure because I don't know what this is. It's just something that people find pretty strange to be in this game. Another image that is found in this game that people are skeptical about is this one here, which looks like a shadow person. To me, it just looks like some guy with a hood, or girl, I don't know, with a hood on, and they're just really dark for some reason compared to the rest of the image. Or it could be like the Illuminati holding up a basketball, I don't know. I do think it's very strange how this person does not match the lighting of the whole image itself. It's like kind of like they were put there on purpose. Kind of like being photoshopped in the image. Why did Kuma Games use this image? I don't know. It was probably just a free asset that they were like, okay, I'll use this. It looks pretty realistic to use, I guess, for a building. Because if you think about it, they're putting these images on building windows. So they have to make it look at least like something is going on inside. Okay, I think as far as my knowledge goes, that's all the things that are hidden in this game. And I don't really know anything else. But if you know anything else that is hidden or is strange that you found in this game, let me know. The next thing I want to talk about are TikToks, okay? Now, these TikToks also focus on, I guess, a scarier type of atmosphere. Remember when I showed you the zombies in Girl A? Well, take a look at this video. Okay, First of all, that is so scary. Second of all, how did they do that? I didn't see a zombie that big or that fast. So I'm thinking, how did they find this? Is this like a hidden boss battle that I don't know about? It's really horrifying. I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie. It's horrifying. I mean, imagine seeing that in your game. Then again, this might just be a mod or like an older version. So speaking of older versions, let's look at this next video. So, from this video, you can see that it kind of has the same type of neighborhood that High School Simulator 2017 has. Except there are different types of characters in this one. For example, these shorter characters that have animal suits on, and these other high school girls, and also this guy who looks like a character from TF2, and this girl who has some type of, I don't know, ice sword in her hand. There is a lot going on, and that's very apparent. Compared to all the other games we've played in this video, there's a lot going on, and it's almost familiar, yet very different. I have very vague memories of remembering featuring these types of characters in my game in Girl A, but I guess they were removed, and I guess this is a older version that they're playing in this video. Another video that I wanted to talk about, which really messed me up, was this one.
Now only dogs will follow me. Is he following? I bite at the hand that feeds me, slap at the face that eats me. Some kind of animal cannibal made impressions on me. Have we met before? Possibly in Michigan.
Okay, so I remember that cat on the roof with the weird cat hat, and I remember the cat hat being in the pool area. I remember all of this, and most notably, I remember those skeletons. Man, you will not believe how scared I would be of those skeletons. Whenever I saw them, I closed the app. I was scared of them. The skeletons were a feature that would happen if you killed a character, like an NPC, and then they would come back to school as a skeleton. I don't know why this was a feature. It really scared me. Even the cat on the roof was really freaky. I mean, I always thought it was placed in the most weirdest area, and in general, it just felt really odd to have a cat here. So if you're wondering if this video is showcasing an older version, yes, that's true. This was an older version until they changed it. And I don't know why they changed it, but you know what? If I don't have to see those skeletons anymore, I'm okay. The community of this game is just amazing. I love the videos that they make, both the scary and non-scary. So many theories that are coming about because of this fandom, and it's really great to see. Will Kuma Games make a High School Simulator 2024? You know what? Who cares? Like, these games are great on their own. We don't need any more. And especially living through them as a kid, playing them all the time, man, I would not trade my life for anything else. I hope you, the person who's watching this, can relate to me in the sense that you also played these games as a kid, that you also share a type of interest for games like these. Trust me, there's so many other high school simulator games out there that I've played, but that's for another time. Why are these games being associated with horror? Well, anyone who has played High School Simulator Kuma games can tell you that this game gives off a overwhelming feeling of loneliness. When you play this game and you get rid of everyone, so basically you're the only one alive in the game, you can't help but feel like you're being watched or followed. It's something that you cannot ignore when you play this game. There's always something that makes you feel on edge. The entire game being very simple and undetailed and just really has no story to it really adds to that aspect of being scared for no reason. Because of this feeling, I'm like 99% sure that's the reason why people are making these scary type of videos. Just because they want to portray that feeling you have when you play this game for long enough, and you just feel this sense of, I don't know, dread. It's really hard to explain. All the random stuff in this game, and it just makes you feel weird.